everybody, it's Kyle coming to you live from my basement. I'm actually recording on the Zoom. It's not connecting to anything. Originally, I was going to go ahead and try and connect it to the Steam Deck because I got that dock for that. I decided not to there. And then I was going to connect it to the Galaxy Fold 4 and decided not to there. So I'm just recording directly on the device. But so I hope it sounds good. But yeah, that last episode, pretty big bummer. I was definitely in a bad spot. As you can probably hear by my voice, I'm doing a lot better now. It was just one of those situations where, I kind of let it get the best of me. And if I could go back in time, I would, take it back and be better prepared for that. But it's just one of those things. I was really expecting something, and it fell through. And yeah, there you go. That's that. Let's see, what's good that's going on in my life right now? Well, marching band season is pretty much over. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it is a good thing. We've been very busy with it, and it'll be nice to get a break from that for a while. I'm sure my son probably feels that 10 times more than I do. But, yeah, that's finished with starting tomorrow night. Yes, tomorrow night will be the first practice for club volleyball. So that's pretty exciting. I know my daughter's excited to get going on that. She's ready to roll, man. Practices kind of suck because they're on Thursday and Friday nights, but what are you going to do? And I think what they're going to do this week is they're going to have one Friday and then Sunday because they couldn't get the place for Thursday. So we'll see how it goes. But she's very excited to be playing on that level and looking forward to it. She is going to swim as well. And she's very excited about getting back in the pool and making that happen. We're really going to have to work with her on, the lotions and stuff she needs to make sure that she doesn't have any adverse effects, from the chlorine in the pools, because sometimes those levels in those pools can be outrageous. So I think I've talked about that before. But yeah, that stuff's going on. Supposed to get the car back today. Yeah. The vehicle has been in the shop since, I guess, the 24th. So it'll be nice to get it back. And even though this is a day late, it took about, not quite 2 weeks, but not far, to get all the repairs done. We have had a rental car this whole time, and it's been great. It's just not quite the same. It's a Toyota. Gosh, what is this thing called? It's a small crossover. Yeah, Toyota Venza. And it's nice. It's nice that they gave us some sort of SUV type vehicle while ours is in the shop. But man, this thing is tiny. This one in particular is a hybrid, so the gas mileage is amazing. I think I saw it gets like 39 miles to the gallon, which is nuts. If it was as big as the one we have, though, there's no way it would get that. But it's still nice. We just like ours. That Kia Sorento that we got that's all loaded, we love that thing. So pretty hard to sway us away from that one. But yeah, that's coming out today, and that's nice. And actually, what's kind of scary is tomorrow night for the first practice for volleyball this year, it's actually an open gym at the same location I was at when the dude backed into the Kia. Now, I won't be taking that vehicle. I'll actually be taking my Kia, which is a little Optima hybrid. But yeah, I'm going to be watching the people pulling out as I drive through. For sure. A little paranoid of that place now. But yeah, things are going good. Things are going better. I got some more things going on. Hopefully I'll have some happy news as a result of one of those. But I've just got to better prepare myself in situations like that. Because it's just not worth that. It's just not worth feeling like shit like that. I'm just not going to do that anymore. So that's that. But yeah, pretty good stuff. Let me go ahead and take a quick break. And I'm going to come back. I got a lot to talk about on things that I'm into right now. I'll throw it over to Kyle. Hey, Kyle. All right, and we're back. What am I into right now? Well, quite a bit. We'll start off with movies. So, I'm trying to kind of clean up my area down here. This is a non-finished basement. And we're not planning on getting it finished simply because the kids will be moving out in a few years when they get done with high school and everything. And I doubt we're going to be getting up and down the stairs to the basement very often. But, working from home and stuff, I do want it a little nicer looking than it is. And April had suggested, hey, why don't you put some stuff up that you like to look at instead of just these gray walls? And, part of this area I do have cordoned off and it's a green screen. And that's fine, but she's right. She's absolutely right. So I have a really nice Kurosawa movie poster from Seven Samurai. And it's all about the music in the movie. It's pretty cool. It's actually got the music from the theme going around the edges of the poster. I'm kind of looking at it while I explain it. But it's a Seven Samurai poster. It's a movie poster. It's awesome. So I will be putting that back up. I just got to find the right thing to hang that up on concrete. So I've done it before. It's those ones that are kind of like a glue-based hook, kind of a material like a canvas almost. And then one side of it's kind of a glue base you put up, you let it sit for like 24 hours, and it's got a hook on the other side. You can hook something on it, and it can hold quite a bit of weight, so easily will hold this. And then what else I did was I got some of those tin movie poster reproductions. I don't know if you've seen those, but, they're a reproduction of movie posters of famous films and stuff, but they're on a tin back. So what I did is got some of those and got some Gorilla Tape, double-sided Gorilla Tape, and I hung those up. I'm thinking I'm going to be able to get like 9 of those up. I've got 5 now. I got a 6th coming today. I can tell you what the movies are. Jaws is the first one. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho is another one I got. Smokey and the Bandit. I love Smokey and the Bandit. That's one of my favorite comedies. I love Caddyshack also and Dumb and Dumber, but Smokey and the Bandit kind of has a special place for me. And it's not just because it's one of the few films to ever come out the same year as a Star Wars film and outdo it at the box office. But that is true. Little fun fact. I do have a poster for the best Star Wars movie, which is The Empire Strikes Back. That one's great. And then I wanted to get something from somebody newer that I enjoy too, so I got a Takashi Miike. I originally was going to get a poster of his, this just got him on it. But I went ahead and got this one for audition, because it was easier to get a hold of. The one of Miike was going to take like 4 months, and the shipping was more than the poster. It just wasn't worth it. So yeah, those are the ones I got up right now. And then I have Taxi Drivers on the way. It'll be here today. And then, yeah, I'll pick up some other ones. I'd really like to get a Citizen Kane one. And there's a few other ones too. Chan-wook Park, maybe something from him. Or maybe even, something from Parasite. I really like that film a lot too. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to need 3 more basically after this one comes in today. Some other things that I have gotten recently though, well, I'll talk about that in a minute. So there's some movie stuff that I'm interested in. What have I been watching? Well, man, that Unsolved Mysteries that's on Netflix is so good. If you've not watched the Netflix series of Unsolved Mysteries, you need to do it if you like that kind of stuff at all. It's really well made. I dig it a lot. So I've been watching that as they come out. We're not quite caught up. We have 1 more episode to watch to get completely caught up on Andor. But man, oh man, has that show been great. Absolutely love that show. Can't get enough of it. Really looking forward to every new episode. Yeah, good stuff. But other than that, not a whole lot. We still need to finish up Cobra Kai from this last season. We just haven't. And there's a few other things we want to watch too. We just haven't had a chance to. So there you go. All right. Well, let's go ahead and go with Steam. I'm going to go with games and gaming. All I play mostly on my phone is Angry Birds Journey, I think is what it's called. And it's just something I can play for a couple minutes here and there. But I do need to find something else, maybe a good solitaire game or something like that. We'll see. But on the Steam Deck, I did get my Steam Deck dock in. Now, the one that I purchased, I didn't buy the official one from Valve. It's a ripoff. It's made of plastic. Yeah, I like the ports and everything on it, but I'm not interested in the plastic. I want something a little heavier, a little more supportive of my device. And then the other thing I hear is if you have a case on your device, it doesn't work very well. So there's a couple other ones out there. JSOX are the big ones, JS, AUX. That's a big company out there that's making them right now. And I think they actually just came out with one that has an NVMe drive slot in it. So you could theoretically, dock your Steam Deck and boot from that drive and have Windows on it or whatever. But not something I'm going to probably be doing right now. So the one I picked up is by iVoler, IVOLER. And I'd read a lot of different things about it, but it just really seemed like a really well-made, solid device. And so that's what I went with. And I love it. It's really cool. I plugged it into my, into all the ports on the back. I've got a nice gaming keyboard, and I've got a gaming mouse also that's wireless. The keyboard's not. And then, I did the regular power cord and everything, but then I came out HDMI I have a 4K monitor that's connected to my Mac Pro down here. Now it's coming out DisplayPort of my Mac Pro, but so I've got an open HDMI port. So I just hooked it to that, and I got to tell you, man, the Steam Deck spits out 4K. I mean, yeah, you're not going to be playing Cyberpunk in 4K on it. I'd almost guarantee that. But there are some games you can play in 4K. Some of the lower, older games. I know that people were playing Half-Life 2 on it, I think I've seen. But I don't care if I got to play that in 1080p or even 720p. But I think you could probably do 1080p on the external monitor. But yeah, so I've got it docked with that, and then I have an Xbox 360, or I'm sorry, Xbox One controller, and I use that as well. It's paired up with the Steam Deck. It just looks good, man. It's fun. I did I think it's called Vampire Survivors. It's like a $5 game that everybody's kind of playing right now. It's one of the most popular games out there on Steam. I did download that one today, and I'm going to tinker around with that one later. But yeah, it's just fun. I'm just getting used to the device and learning about it as I go along, basically. Yeah, so there you go. Hopefully I'll get a little more into some of the games and have a little more to report to you guys on it. There's some that I'm really interested in. Ghost Song is a big one that was coming out that looks like it is released today, I believe. And there's like some Ghost something Tokyo that I'm interested in. And then, of course, Persona 5 came out, which I'm very interested in. But, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to go drop $60 here and there, or even 30 or 20 bucks here and there. Whenever I see something, I'm like, ooh, I got to have that, and go buy it. I take my time. I wait for sales. I'm not in a big hurry because I'm not a huge gamer, but I do enjoy gaming, and, hopefully I'll be able to mess with it a little more. We'll see. What am I listening to right now? Not a ton of new stuff. Pretty much the same stuff I talked to you guys about last time. I think I told you guys I went with the wife, and we went to Brass Armadillo, which is a huge antique kind of flea market place here just outside of town, outside of Kansas City on I-70 there. And wow, yeah, I didn't think I was going to be so into it, but I was. I totally loved it. And I found a few really cool things record-wise. I mean, there were a couple booths where I could have probably stayed the day. They had so many records. But funny thing is, the booths that were like that, I found tons of stuff, but I didn't buy anything because they're in such bad shape, man. People say, oh, yeah, here's a Led Zeppelin record. Yeah, oh, $15. But I'm wondering, do they even pull it out and look at the vinyl? Because it's all scratched to hell. It ain't worth shit, The other thing is people tend to think those records are like Beatles records are worth a ton of money. They're not, man. There was billions of those printed, not billions, but millions of those printed. So There's lots of copies out there available. They're not worth a lot. If it was a real popular deal, probably not going to be worth a ton. Despite all that, I did find a few things that were pretty cool. One of them was Dawkins single. It's a maxi single, so a full-size record, but it's a single. And it is not Into the Fire. Oh, it's off the very first album. It's not Alone Again. Oh, my God. What is the song? I'll look it up. But yeah, it's like I say, it's a maxi single, and normally I wouldn't buy those, but I don't come across a lot of Dawkins stuff, and I do like Dawkins. Kind of have a special place in my heart from when I was a kid. I was really into them and totally dig them, and so it's kind of cool to come across that. I know it's off of Just Got Lucky. It's a maxi single for Just Got Lucky off of Tooth and Nail, which is kind of their biggest breakthrough album. Off that, you had Just Got Lucky, you had Into the Fire, and you had Alone Again. Big songs, all three of them. Alone Again especially, I think. I bet you that's their number one played song. It is. 36 million times it's been played. And then Breaking the Change is second. Wouldn't have figured that. I would have figured it In My Dreams or Dream Warriors, but hey, whatever. Yeah, so I picked up that. It's just a single, but it sounds good. And then I picked up another double record, which is kind of a compilation, not K-Tel, but similar to that, which is, it says heavy metal on it. Not all the songs on there are heavy metal, but there is a lot of metal on there. There's some Black Sabbath, there's some, who else is on there? Judas Priest is on there. But then they've also got like Jimi Hendrix, and Led Zeppelin's on there. That's not really heavy metal, but whatever, man. This came out a long time ago, and it was a double album. Both LPs play great on it. Tons of songs on there. I kind of like stuff like that. Then I came along and found I know what I found. I did find something big in that one booth, and what it is that kind of tiki music, tiki lounge music. I like that kind of stuff too. And I can't remember the name of the band on that one either, but long story short, it's pretty cool because it's a recent recording. It's not old. And so I kind of looked it up. I don't always do that, but I kind of looked it up just to kind of see, where does this come from, or is it any good or whatever. And the cheapest I could find it was like $40. And the one that I was holding in my hands, it's in perfect condition. So I'm like, but anyway, I picked it up. Sounds great. Love that one too. And then the last one I got is I don't think it's Record Store Day special. It may be though, but it's an Iggy Pop double album that's live. And it sounds phenomenal too. Now you have to be a fan of Iggy Pop, which a lot of people aren't, but I like him, I think Iggy Pop's pretty great, and he's fun to listen to, he's different, and it's interesting music, and it's got the hits on it, of course. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So I've been listening to that as well. Yeah, so those are the four I found, and they were all very reasonable. I mean, that Iggy Pop album was like $10 for a double album. Same thing on that. I went and looked it up. I can't find one for under $40. So it's obviously a good pickup. So pretty excited about that. Other than that, I haven't been listening to a lot of different music. I will tell you again, I have Record Store Day, Black Friday coming up. So that's right around the corner. And there's a couple things I'm looking at on that day. The biggest thing being that Soul Coughing Greatest Hits. So, okay, reading. Not a ton. I have been reading some of the comics. I'm trying to get caught up on a bunch of those. There is a new one that I've been reading. It's pretty interesting. It's funny because Amazon bought Comixology, which is fine. But they've kind of screwed it up, man. And it's kind of a bummer. But on I go anyway. So Shock Shop, that's one I've been reading. It's pretty interesting. And then Stuff of Nightmares I like as well. I think that's R.L. Stine who created that one. And other than that, I've got some Moon Knight, I've got some Spawn, I've got some Punisher, I've got some Star Wars stuff in here, a little bit of all that. So, got to get caught up on some of those things. Just need to kind of have some time to sit down and do that. And just really haven't, but should soon. It's starting to get cold. What else? That's about it. Oh, podcasts. I guess I always talk about podcasts. Yeah, pretty much the same stuff. Not really anything too new out there, but pretty much the same things that I've talked about plenty of times. I love the Mr. Ballin podcast. Now, I will tell you that one is going exclusively over to Amazon, which I get it, but that sucks, dude. I don't want to listen to Amazon's podcast app. I'm not interested, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to be if I want to listen to the new episodes of Mr. Ballin. So there's that. Wham, wham, boo-hoo, right? Okay. That I've been listening to. Radio Rental. They had a special Halloween edition that was pretty cool. Listen to that. Yeah. There's a new one called Culpable. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm interested in listening to that. And then there's another one called Down the Hill or something like that, I believe. And Mikey turned me onto that when I started listening to it a few years ago. They finally caught that guy. They're pretty sure. They arrested someone this last week. It's the Delphi murders. Delphi's the town that this was in. But, yeah, seems like they caught that guy. I think that happened in 2017, so it's 5 years old. But I think they finally caught the dude, which is awesome. Awesome to hear that. And, people get pissy about these podcasts and people, delving into these things and thinking they know more than the cops or whatever. But I got to tell you, I've heard plenty of these where it's sparked up enough interest in everything in the case again that they actually catch the person. And it was kind of a dead case. So, I don't know. I don't know how to take that exactly. But I figure if somebody wants to create a podcast about it and the family and friends and stuff are on board and it renews some interest in the case and they're able to catch somebody, well, what's the harm? Police just don't want that to happen sometimes, or investigators don't want that to happen because it makes them not look so great, because here's this amateur that's out catching somebody they couldn't find. But who cares, man? The point is somebody gets caught and pays for what they did. But yeah, pretty good podcast, all of those. What else? Not really much else, guys. That's about it. I'm going to play with this Steam Deck dock and stuff a little bit this weekend. Hopefully get a little bit of gaming in. Hopefully get a little bit of reading in. Got another weekend that's looking a little busy. Friday night, we do have a football game again because the team is in the playoffs and they're doing really well. So there will be marching band again, but it's not normal marching band competitions and everything. By the way, in their final marching band competition this year, they got the grand prize, which is awesome. They haven't had that in a long time. And so they were able to procure that number one spot in one of the competitions they went to, which is great, especially for all those seniors. It's been a rough few years, and it's good for these kids to experience something like that. So very exciting. That's it, guys. Not much else going on. Someday, like I said, I will be able to tell you more about what's going on, what's had me up and down and all that jazz, but it's just not time yet. I will discuss it when it fits better, and I'll let you guys know all about it. Trust me. You know me. I'm a chatty Cathy. I will talk to you all about it. That's all I got for now. I appreciate you guys listening. Keep on keeping on. I will catch up with you next week. I know this weekend, something I have to do, probably tonight, is I have to go outside and I have to mow the lawn. So if you do me a favor and you're walking by, don't stop. Get off my lawn.